Coming up on News Live at 6, Syracuse's Student Government Association hosted their first stroll to the polls this morning.
Plus, Upstate Medical has identified the 2 ICE detainees, where they're being held, and more.
And a local church hosts their iconic Election Day event. Find out how it brings the community together on Election Day when News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Welcome into News Live at 6 this Tuesday evening. I'm Isabella Galan.
And I'm Jackson Breslin. We start tonight with new details about the 2 Upstate Medical employees detained by ICE. The president of the United University Professions at Upstate University chapter has identified the 2 people detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement while attending their immigration hearings last week. The men have been identified as Alcibiades Ades Lazaro Ramirez Gonzalez and Yanier Vasquez Hidalgo. The men are being held in the Buffalo Federal Detention Facility in Batavia. The UUP says that both men fled Cuba seeking asylum. The 2 were recently married and were nearing the end of their immigration process when they were detained.
Well, Syracuse University's Student Government Association hosted their first stroll to the polls event this morning.
That's right, Isabella. Our Sophia DeStasso is live at the Shine Student Center where the students gathered earlier today.
Thanks, guys. I am here at the Shine Student Center, and I know it's night, but this morning at 11 a.m., the Syracuse Student Government Association hosted their first stroll to the polls. Vice President Kenneth Lanterman said that he wanted to create an experience that really incorporated his organization as well as encouraging more student voters.
Important to us that we not only set the precedent that we are in civic engagement and we do participate in it and we do care about what's going on in local elections, but also that students know what's going on.
There were many students there, and for second-time voter and active SGA member Kennedy King said that she isn't from Syracuse, but that didn't stop her from voting today.
It's really important to exercise our civic duty to write down what we believe in, to vote people in who believe in the same things we believe. And just because we spent 4 years in another state doesn't mean that that right goes away, you know? So while I'm here, I would like to vote in the Syracuse elections because this is my home for now.
I'm answering the question. Right?
First time that SGA has put on this Strolls to the Polls event. Can you just talk about how the turnout was? Did they get a lot of people coming down to Shine Student Center this morning?
Yeah, guys, there were a lot of students here this morning for their first walk, and I talked to many of them, and they said that it was actually a really good experience for them, and they felt more comfortable going down to vote in a group. So at the end of the story, they really thought that it was a better place for the students to go to vote, and it just encouraged more students to show up. Our election special is airing at 9 p.m. tonight. That is when the polls are closing, and you can see the full story there. I'm Sophia DeStasso for CitrusTV News. I'll send it back to you guys in studio.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Well, Syracuse University's Office of People and Culture is launching a new administrative fellowship program designed to develop future campus leaders. The initiative will give participants hands-on experience in university operations and mentorship from senior administrators, aiming to build a more diverse pipeline of leadership across departments.
Well, as AI use on Syracuse's campus grows, some students are pushing for the university to be more transparent. A bill requiring the university to be transparent on AI was presented at last night's Student Government Association meeting. If passed, that bill would force SU to compile a list of AI systems used by the university, complete independent bias checks, and create a student technology advisory committee within SGA. The bill was not officially introduced to the voting floor, but it's expected to be revised and reintroduced later this semester.
As SNAP benefits have come to a pause, many families have been left without resources to get food. But a certain nonprofit is working to help solve this issue.
Our Lucy Schaefer is here in studio with more on their mission. Hey, Lucy.
Thanks, guys. The nonprofit Lasagna Love is working to combat food insecurity one lasagna at a time. With over 80,000 volunteers, representation for almost each state in 4 countries, their mission is to provide home-cooked meals to families in need. I spoke with Haley Taggart, a New York local leader for Lasagna Love. She says volunteers are needed now more than ever due to the pause in SNAP benefits. Requests have been overflowing.
The last month, we've been averaging, the wait list is an extra 100 requests. And we take, anyone can request regardless of need. And we don't ask any questions, and need could be anything.
Now, with the surplus of requests, the outreach coordinators work to get more volunteers to make food or deliveries. Full-time elementary teacher and Lasagna Love volunteer Jessica Harrington has worked with the organization for almost a year. Over the summer, she took on a role to be a New York outreach coordinator to help combat food insecurity. She said Lasagna Love has been a great opportunity to give back.
This was a way to get me outside of that teacher or that school community and really get to see not only what our needs are locally, but also to connect in more of a community way, but within the state, which has been really cool.
Now, Lasagna Love have worked with multiple programs and even the Girl Scouts to make meals where they have a chance to earn their own Lasagna Love patch. Most of the ingredients to make these meals are bought by the volunteers, but donations can be made. Many volunteers post on social media to ask for ingredients and host lasagna nights where they get together and make meals to pass out in the community. Jackson and Isabella, back to you.
Thanks, Lucy. Some polling places in New Jersey have reopened and others are in a new location after bomb threats were made earlier today. Attorney General Matthew Platkin says law enforcement responded to emailed threats at polling places in 7 of New Jersey's counties and secured each location. The threats come on the final day of a closely contested race for governor between Democrat Mikey Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli. I will have the full results for this race on our election special tonight at 9 o'clock.
Classes are back in session at SUNY Morrisville after a shooting on its campus yesterday, where a 20-year-old non-student was shot in the neck inside a dorm. Following a campus-wide lockdown to secure the area near Onondaga and South Halls, police say the shooting appears to be a, quote, single targeted event. The man shot is expected to make a full recovery. No arrests have been made at this time, but anyone with information can call the state police using the number on your screen.
Our Lady of Pompeii Church in Syracuse is wrapping up their annual Election Day spaghetti dinner.
Well, Citrus TV reporter Grace Elford visited the event and spoke to parishioners about what this tradition means for politics in the 315.
For most, Election Day is all about which candidate will be the winner. But for the parishioners at Our Lady of Pompeii, it's all about the pasta.
It's a great tradition to bring everybody together and to break bread together.
The parish has been hosting their annual spaghetti supper on Election Day for over 75 years. Today, led by Lucy Paris, they serve 6,000 meatballs, 200 pounds of pasta, and 250 gallons of sauce.
And it's amazing how many people are involved in this, and cooking, and it's authentic Italian food. Well, we make the sauce all homemade. We do the meatballs homemade. We have at least 100 volunteers preparing for this the weekend before.
People in Syracuse will get a great reward for coming out to vote today because the parish will serve over 1,500 meals.
Syracuse is home to so many. We're able to come together from all different sides, all walks of life, and be able to share a meal together. And that's, again, it's no small thing.
The event isn't just about good eats. Mayoral candidates including Tim Rudd and Sharon Owens join their voters for the community meal.
And it's everyone comes. You don't have to be a parishioner, everyone comes. It doesn't matter what party you're in, you're involved, you're engaging with the people, and it's really special.
When they walk in their door, I tell everybody, there's no Republican, Democrat, there's no party lines. We all just come together as one, una familia, and break bread together.
I'm Grace Elford, Citrus TV News.
For more election night coverage, you can tune into the Citrus TV election special on YouTube and OTN.
Yeah, Isabella, I know that you'll be here in studio. I'll be at Sharon Owens' watch party, who we just saw at that spaghetti dinner. Yep. And it's a good thing that we're both going to be indoors because right now the weather not looking great.
It
It's really
is
cold.
So cold, and I think the worst part about it too is the fact that it is already so dark outside, which is just making it just feel so much worse, but at least we are all inside
Daylight
tonight.
savings makes it pretty brutal, but luckily also inside is our weather anchor, Verna. Roman, tell us a little bit about what's going on outside right now.
Yeah, guys, well, like you said, definitely nice to be inside today because it is a chilly one. And not only is it a chilly one now, it's about 52 degrees. That might not sound that scary, but it's feeling more in the 40s. And that's because of a very high and intense wind chill, bringing the temperature all the way down to those 40s. And those speeds, looking at 15 miles an hour, that's something that you might have to fight against on your way back from class tonight or on your way to the polls maybe. Moving into later tonight, those temperatures are going to continue to drop into the low 40s at around midnight and then into 3 a.m. going into the high 30s. That's something that's scary, but it's just going to become a reality as we march on in the fall and get into the winter. Clouds rolling in overnight, and that's going to bring in a march of some pretty scary rain for the rest of the week, but I'll have more on that in your full 5-day forecast. Guys?
Thanks, Roman. Syracuse Regional Airport Authority, or SRAA, is holding 3 food drives to support local airport federal employees who have been working unpaid since the government shutdown began. SRAA Executive Director Jason Terreri says, quote, "Without our federal partners, the airport will not be able to operate," unquote. Donations can be dropped off between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. at the Arrivals A curb line from tomorrow until Friday.
A local entrepreneur says he is ready to distribute more than $150,000 worth of Wegmans gift cards. Jay Canals began his donation drive last week to help those impacted by the pause in SNAP benefits. In the week since it began, more than 30,000 people applied for help. Canals is currently pausing applications because of the demand.
And Canals released a statement on his Facebook page saying, quote, "Even though SNAP benefits have been ordered to be reinstated by Wednesday, we followed through on our original commitment to help local families who applied during the shutdown period and notified the first 1,000 recipients that applied as first come, first serve."
Well, holiday season is kicking off with Nutcracker Magical Christmas Ballet at the Landmark Theater. This is the 33rd year of the international production, and the cast includes 40 professional ballet artists from more than 10 countries. The production is partnered with the Elmcrest Children's Center, which aims to help children and families through different developmental challenges. The performance is set for this Sunday at 3 p.m.
A first responder training center will be built in Oswego County. Officials say the Fulton Public Safety Training Center will enhance coordination and training for fire departments and other agencies. State Senator Chris Ryan announced $250,000 in grants to go towards the project. Construction is expected to begin in May.
Lemoyne College is set to provide more assistance to graduate students struggling to keep their full-time status. The college is using a $5 million grant to give between 50 and 60 healthcare students a $10,000 stipend to use towards childcare, parking, books, lab fees, conference travel, and other expenses. The students will be picked using the federal definition of disadvantaged and to reach a variety of diverse backgrounds, including veterans. Lemoyne will also hire 2 new staffers to help these students, and the grants will start next year. Coming up, the government shutdown has now reached record length. Congress's plans to move forward.
Plus, 2 men have been arrested in connection to the explosion at Harvard's medical school. The latest updates and more when News Live at 6 returns.
Like sweet Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're watching Citrus TV News Live at 6 with Isabella Galan, Jackson Breslin, and Roman Verna. And now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back into News Live at 6. Dick Cheney, vice president to George W. Bush and one of the most polarizing vice presidents in U.S. history, is dead. Cheney's family released a statement today saying he died from complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease.
During Cheney's time as vice president, he expanded the office's influence in ways previously unseen. He was heavily involved in the U.S.'s stance on the war in Iraq and alleged links between the 9/11 attacks in Iraq that didn't exist. A lifelong conservative, he announced he was voting for Kamala Harris in last year's election after becoming a target of President Trump.
With Congress now tied for its longest ever shutdown, a small group of lawmakers in Washington is trying to end the standoff as soon as this week. Talks over reopening the government are focused on putting together a funding package and giving Democrats a standalone vote to extend expiring subsidies under the Affordable Care Act.
Senate Majority Leader John Thune said he is, quote, optimistic but not necessarily confident bipartisan senators will reach a deal to fund the government by the week's end. Thune also acknowledged that the Senate will likely have to draft a new stopgap bill in order to buy Congress more time to pass full-year spending bills.
Now to the latest. 2 men were arrested and charged earlier today for their alleged connection to the explosion at Harvard Medical School. Logan David Patterson and Dominic Frank Cardoza were arrested and charged with conspiracy to damage by means of fire or an explosive.
The Harvard Medical School building is open again following the weekend explosion that authorities say was intentionally set off. According to university police, an officer who responded to a fire alarm early Saturday morning encountered 2 people running from the Goldenson building.
A jury must decide if Washington, D.C. resident Sean Charles Dunn has committed a federal crime after throwing a sandwich at a federal agent. Dunn is arguing that it was an act of protest.
A grand jury refused to indict Dunn on a felony assault charge. The incident happened back in August when President Trump was increasing federal law enforcement in D.C. Customs and Border Patrol agent Gregory Larimore said the sandwich, quote, exploded when it struck his chest hard enough that he could feel it through his ballistic vest.
And coming up just after the break, I'll have your full 5-day forecast and what you can expect with this rain. Stay tuned.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. A look now at your full 5-day forecast, and a lot of the same and a lot of some dreary weather, because you can see all rain all week, not looking great. Wednesday though, tomorrow, showers aren't starting until the evening, so you'll see some 55-degree temperatures that will actually make for some comfortable weather to your walk to class. But it's after that rain's going to roll in and then continue into Thursday morning before clearing once again. Come Friday, we're back in these high winds that we saw the other day, today, and then more rain in the afternoon into the evening. Saturday, going to wean off in the morning before Sunday, just completing with some scattered showers in the afternoon. So on and off and on and off, but the picture is rain. And those temperatures consistent around the low 40s to the 50s. Now, here's some interesting weather temperatures I compiled about the New York City election, the Virginia election, and the Miami election, because after all, it is election day. New York City, walking to the polls, about 59 degrees, Virginia 63, and if you're in Miami voted for their mayor, 80 degrees. So a beautiful day down there. I'll send it back to you guys at the desk, though.
Thanks, Roman. Well, stocks fell in afternoon trading on Wall Street today. The S&P 500 fell 1%, while the Dow Jones fell 293 points, or 0.6%. The losses were spread broadly throughout the S&P 500, but technology companies were the biggest weights dragging the market lower. Palantir Technologies fell 7.2% despite reporting results that beat analyst forecasts. Nvidia also reversed course from a day earlier, falling 3%, while Microsoft fell 1%. Wall Street remains focused on corporate earnings. Now we go to breaking news. A UPS plane crashed shortly after takeoff near the Louisville, Kentucky airport. The flight was headed to the Daniel K. Inouye Airport in Honolulu. Louisville Metro Police Department and other agencies are responding to the crash, with injuries being reported. A shelter in place has been issued for all locations within 5 miles of the airport.
And coming up, Syracuse men's basketball is officially back in the 3-1-5. I'll tell you how they fared in their first contest last night.
Women are bad with money.
It's what the world's been saying for centuries.
But now, we've got something to say. Save it. Save the old-fashioned advice, the empty excuses.
It's all worthless, unlike us.
To our fellow females, it is time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Contributing to our futures, investing in our independence. Until we're no longer
80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
So again, we say to that, save it.
The falsehoods, the feelings of fault, then the funds.
Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Well, you guys mentioned it. It's getting colder and darker a lot quicker, but that means one thing, and that's Syracuse basketball is officially back. Welcome to sports. I'm Rahill Jaiswal. SU opened its season last night against Binghamton. Last year's season opener for SU was nearly a disaster. The Orange almost lost to the recently turned Division I Lemoyne Dolphins. However, this year was a completely different story. SU dominated from start to finish, 85-47. The final score. Newcomers were great. Donnie Freeman, one of the returners, he had 20 points, but William Kyle, 16 points out of UCLA, and of course, Kyan Anthony, Carmelo Anthony's son, had 15 points off the bench. And then Georgia Tech transfer Nathan George, 14 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, and 5 steals with only 1 turnover. Unfortunately, SU did lose J.J. Starling to injury, but head coach Adrian Autry said that it shouldn't be anything too bad. So a very successful day for SU men's basketball, and here's what the head man had to say after the win.
I thought tonight, what really
exemplified, our summer, what our summer looked like as far as defending and playing with energy, sharing the basketball, and just playing for 40 minutes. And I thought our team did that today.
So Syracuse starts the season 1-0. Elsewhere around the Hill, SU football gears up for a road clash with number 18 Miami. The one question on every SU fan's mind is who's going to start at QB? It's been a revolving door of starters all season for SU. Last week, it was four-star lacrosse recruit Joe Filari, the true freshman, walked onto the team, and they inserted him in the game against North Carolina. Now, head coach Fran Brown could also go back to Ricky Collins, but Collins has struggled so far this season. The original backup QB has only thrown 4 touchdowns in 6 games with 8 INTs. It's been a brutal stretch for Syracuse football. Moving over to the pitch, Syracuse men's soccer battles Virginia Tech in the first round of the ACC tournament tomorrow. The Orange enter the tournament as a 6th seed, and SU has managed to create some magic in the conference tourney in years past, most notably 3 years ago. When SU entered the conference tournament on a red-hot streak, they would go on to win the ACC tournament, and that ultimately led to a national championship. So we'll see what happens this time, but Jackson, Isabel, back to you guys.
Rahill, thanks so much. When we come back, we'll have one last look at your wake-up weather.
Stick with us.
Welcome to Live from Studio B.
Welcome to another episode of Culturally and Technically Legal.
Previously on Survivor.
Welcome back to the Esports Juice Box, where we break down this week's esports news into digestible sizes for easy consumption.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. A look now at your wake-up weather real quick here. 40 degrees, that chillier weather definitely rolling in, partly cloudy, and that rain once again coming in later in the day and starting that trend off for the entire week.
Well, definitely not excited about that rain, but what I am excited about, which I think is one of the most anticipated awards of the year, is the Sexiest Man Alive competition, and it is none other than Jonathan Bailey, the 37-year-old British actor. He has been in the spotlight a lot recently with his production of, he was in Wicked, he was in Jurassic World Rebirth, Netflix's Bridgerton. He's a star.
Well, and Bailey is also the first openly gay man to receive this title and said to Jimmy Fallon, quote, "It's the honor of a lifetime." Now, previous winners include John Krasinski, Patrick Dempsey, and Michael B. Jordan. A lot of big names on that list.
Super big names. I personally am really excited that he was able to get the award. Again, like, he's been in the spotlight so much recently, and I think he was the perfect person to be nominated for this year.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that I'm a big follower of the People's Sexiest
I would have to agree with you there.
Guys, what? Do you at least tell me you know who Jonathan Bailey is, though?
I know who Jonathan Bailey is.
Okay.
I did see Wicked.
You guys
I learned.
Low down on him. Not real. I learned as well.
Yeah, you know.
So.
Do you have a favorite past Sexiest Man of the Year?
I mean, I gotta go. I feel like George Clooney is a classic.
That's
I
a
feel
classic.
Like,
Okay.
like
That is a sexy
unanimous
man.
decision.
Like, that's a good one.
Exactly.
Yeah. What about you, Rahill?
John Krasinski. I was a big Office fan. As big Office fan, so he's always iconic.
Oh, absolutely love it. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for you on Citrus TV News Live at 6 for this Tuesday.
Don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now, for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Jackson Breslin.
And I'm Isabella Galan. Have a great night, Syracuse.